This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Classified series, Zanya and Dreadnok Chameleon, the Swamp Skier. So some of you may remember, one of those things I always complain about is when they create a vehicle that could be used for multiple characters and they put a specific character in instead of a generic one. Admittedly, it's a little bit harder with the Chameleon here, but it's still kind of annoying. However, I do know from the package that there are 3 different looks you can do with Zanya here, so that makes it a little bit easier to deal with. On the side, we get some nice artwork of her, although we do see that she's got a nose piercing and an eyebrow piercing, which I don't think I saw on the figure in the box. And she's also got the gauges plugged, which I believe she does have in her figure. On the side here, we just get the same bullshit we always get. And on the back, we see, again, like I said, 3 different looks for her. I'm wondering if the one with the mask there is actually a different head altogether, but obviously the hair pops off to put the helmet on. Or I suppose it is possible that the helmet fits over her hair, but I doubt it. It also appears as if the Swamp Skier actually has a couple of hidden compartments, which is both cool and kind of doesn't make sense for the one in the front, since, you know, theoretically, that's where the controls to steer it would be. But anyway, let's go ahead and open this sucker up, shall we? So the Swamp Skier has surprisingly few parts on it. And... oh, don't tell them. Okay. Are these all the same? No, they are slightly different. Because, as always, G.I. Joe doesn't really give us directions on how to put shit together. These 2 are the same, and these 2 are the same. So these appear to be the ones for the front, and these the ones for the back. Alright, so we got the Swamp Skier put together. As mentioned before, this opens up. Guess you can put her sunglasses in there. But once more, I'd like to point out the controls for it are right here. And the inside opens up. So we might actually be able to fit weapons in there. Hey, look at that. We can fit weapons in there. If you can open up again. This is why I have one long fingernail, apparently. So a quick look at the Swamp Skier. There is a spring load in the back for the back skis. Lots of engines here. Theoretically, I do think you could actually build... oh, Lord. Build something like this and have it actually work. Theoretically. You just need to be able to go fast enough that the skis can keep you up like if you're skiing. Oh, I'm going to lower this down a bit. Sorry. Did not realize. Let's get the box out of the way. Because I'm sure the Swamp Skier is actually kind of one of those things that more people are interested in than the figure. Not that she's a bad figure or anything, but I think this is something people wanted. It definitely has a more modern look to it than I remember from the original Chameleon from the 80s. I'm also aware, and I think I've led a link to this once before, but I don't know if I still have it. Somebody created a 3D printed model version of the Swamp Skier, so you could put it together yourself if you wanted to. And I had a friend printing it, and he printed about half of it before he forgot parts. So I was never able to actually build it. And I don't have a 3D printer. But yeah, this is the swamp skier. The foot pegs move here on it also, so that you can get the feet in there, probably because of the different size figures. Again, skis rotate. But we also saw them pegged in. We already looked at the two. You think they store it like this? For some reason, this reminds me of a grasshopper too. Does anybody else get the feeling that this reminds them of a grasshopper? Just seriously. Yeah. So we got some controls decked out here, decked out here. That's about it. They really did not feel like they went all out. And again, like I remember it having like a giant turbine underneath it that you could see. And this is kind of a disappointment. Like it's not terrible. It's modern, I guess, but I don't know. It is disappointing. Now we got our Zanya figure. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing her name right. Let's go ahead and take a look at her head. So it looks like she's got, and here's the problem is I don't know if some of this is just paint slop or not. All right, so we do have a piercing in her nose. We have the eyebrow piercing. We do have the gauges in her ears. It looks like there is a piercing here, or again, it could be paint slop, possibly a piercing underneath her lip also. So she's doing the trifecta of stupid-looking piercings. Forgive me if you've got them. I don't like most of the facial piercings that we see. I'm not a big fan of the gauged ears either, to be honest. Her neck does have a choker on it. I think we've seen that on another figure before. Got a couple tattoos here on her belly, or I guess her abdomen, ribs. Not ribs. Ribs are up here. I'm not really sure what they are. Is it a bird with an arrow through it? I don't know. I don't know. They just look kind of dumb, in my opinion, in this case. So, let's see. We know her hair comes off because of the other. Oh, that's hilarious. I wish right now, I wish that we had like a little just bald head that we could put on top of her there. But yeah, we can take that off and put the helmet on. The helmet. This is like one of those old like fighter pilot helmets, isn't it? I do think that piercing may just be a dot of paint. I'm gonna have to try to do like a 3-shot on our head to get all the sides. So that doesn't look terrible. And then I guess these goggles would go with it. Oh, for fuck's sake. Like always with these kind of things, it's hard to try to get the thing. Look how much I bent that too. Maybe if we try putting the goggles on first. Well, that's not lining up very well, is it? You know, when the goggles are bending, it looked better. See, this is the problem with when they do the glasses and goggles as separate pieces from the helmets. Okay. So there we got her on this head. Oh, this is going to be a bitch to take pictures of later on, isn't it? So yeah, we got that head there. I actually I kind of like her with that stuff on there. It actually looks pretty good. This would probably be the version that you'd want to have on the swamp skier. Her green hair looks pretty cool too. You know what though? Again, it seems like this is one of those things though where they make the head specifically for the individual characters, but they never quite make them for, use with other figures. Then we have this alternate short-haired version with the Jason mask, basically. In this case, she just has giant hoop earrings instead of the gauges, which I kind of like that look better. But I would like longer hair with that mask. I think that would have looked really cool. But at least it is a separate head altogether. I'm not sure what else you'd use it for, though. But yeah, I do think this version, this head is a nice head. I just wish she had longer hair with it. Yeah, see, that would have looked cooler. Then we do have a second pair of just glasses, I guess. Pretty sure these are the same glasses that came with the Baroness. Specifically, the version with the Crimson Trio set. Kind of like her with the glasses on, actually. That looks pretty nice. Stay. So, she comes with... What the hell is this even for? Oh, okay. So, she's got a pistol with a long barrel and a scope on it, and it's all bent out of shape already, right off the bat. And it goes into this ginormous holster here, like so. I don't know why G.I. Joe started doing like the little fuck, these things here, because they suck on these figures. You can get it in as long as the weapon isn't in it. But once the weapon is in it, it's very hard to not press it against the weapon to get it unstuck. All right, and this looks like this. Oh, we are stupid here, aren't we? So that would apparently fit on her back because there's nothing on her belt to put it. So this would only work with short hair or this thing. So. Oops. All right. She comes with a machete. Which I assume is meant to go into here. She does have a little belt loop here to hold something, but she got nothing that would actually hook onto that, really, unless you wanted to stick the gun on there like that, but that would be really dumb. We got fists again. And unlike with Mercer, you can actually tell that these fists were definitely meant for her and not just a secondary add-on later on. She's also got a shotgun here. We have seen this with previous figures. So nothing new here. I'm pretty sure we've seen this machete with other figures too, but the belt might actually be new. Also, if you look, she's got like a little chain going from there to there. It's like her wallet's on the chain. Now, you know, the original figure for this, I think, came out, it was in like the 4-inch articulated scale, not the O-ring scale. And I believe it was basically the top half was Zartan and the bottom half was like Lady J or something like that. So she's come a long way. She's got a Dreadnok symbol on her shirt. Once again, she just has like smaller breasts because Hasbro is afraid to give women breasts in G.I. Joe. They are probably bigger than Zarana's, though. Also, they got like rips in her shirt here on the shoulders, which is kind of nice. This is supposed to represent a fishnet top, but to me, it kind of looks more like she's wearing just a sheer shirt underneath or pantyhose underneath, whatever. You know, some of these parts might actually be from Lady J, now that I think about it. Duh, I forgot articulation. I was wondering. Okay, so anyway, articulation really quick. Head, it's on a ball joint. Obviously, the hair interferes with movement. Not a ton, but enough. We can do the chicken neck thing. She's got some butterfly joints. You can spin at the arm, shoulder, up, bicep cut, double jointed elbow, spin at the wrist. This one has up and down articulation, as does the other one. That's interesting. Usually I think it's in and out on both, or up and down on one and in and out on the other. We have a boob cut. We got a waist swivel, and it wobbles. We still have drop down hips. They don't move a ton, but they still move. So we can kick out really far. We can kick forward about that far and back about that far. Oh, and look at that. She's got a pronounced butt crack. So we got a pronounced butt crack on this figure, but not boobs. Okay, well, I still appreciate the effort, guys. And there goes her head again. We have a swivel there, bend at the knee, double jointed, boot cut, hinge, and spin. Well, let's go ahead and put her helmet back on so we can put her on the ride here. We will attempt to start by putting our hands into place here. That worked well. All right, let's try starting with the feet. We get one foot in, the other one pops out. All right. Spread them thighs, baby. Spread them thighs. Oh. There's always that one finger that just does not want to cooperate. You know, she's got really fat, short thumbs. Now that I think about it. Well, what do you guys think? Looks a bit awkward here, doesn't it? Well, there is enough room on the swamp skier to put another person on there if you wanted to, but that's going to look really extra awkward, I think. And I don't know what, I guess they'd hold on in the middle. Basically, they wanted to give us a swamp skier, and they did it this way. So she has had a figure before. I'm not sure if her first appearance was as a figure or in one of the comics, but she was part of, I think it was a Dreadnok battle pack, and this was in the Forge days. I don't believe that she actually ever had an O-ring figure in the G.I. Joe history, but we do have file card information, slightly different than usual because it was a different era. And I also added to it some information from the Joepedia because it was very short. So we got Zanya Dreadnok. Name, Zanya. Real last name, unknown. Birthplace, Chicago, Illinois. Have you ever noticed the amount of people on Cobra who seem to come from Chicago? I think when you consider that the capital of Illinois is Springfield and the Cobra town is Springfield, I got questions for you guys in Illinois. Primary weapon, rifle. Combat gear, pistol. Well, she doesn't come with a rifle, she comes with a shotgun. The daughter of Zartan is tough, tenacious, and never gives an inch. That's how she can more than hold her own in the dangerous Dreadnok game. She stole and panhandled to get by as a child and learned how to take down opponents twice her size in hand-to-hand combat. She never knew her father until she found her way into the swamp and revealed her identity to him. I think when I was reading some of the stuff on it, is actually she heard the name from when her mother and stepfather were arguing. The mother was saying something to the effect of Zartan took better care of us. That's a scary thought. As Zartan's daughter, she has become his heir apparent. This does not sit well with her aunt Zarana, leading to a contentious relationship between the two. Determined, headstrong, and more than a little embittered over her past, Zanya is strong-willed and driven. While she does somewhat idolize her father, she also knows that she cannot lean on her relationship with him alone. She has shown some disguise skills, although nowhere near the supernatural extent that her father does. So this is one of those sets where I think part of the reason why we got additional ways to display her is so that people could justify buying multiples of her. But if we do display her all three ways, that's still just 3 of these chameleons. And just in the show alone, originally they showed at least 4 different chameleons with the Dreadnoks, right? all three of the original Dreadnoks and Zartan all had them. And again, I don't know, this one, it's kind of boring from what I remember from the original. And I wish I had an original one to show you guys here, but I don't, so I can't. Aside from my personal preference of the piercings just being kind of annoying on this figure, I think she looks really good overall. Not a big fan of the tattoos, and again, I think it's a bird with an arrow going through it, which just looks kind of stupid. Otherwise, it just kind of looks like, from a distance, corn growing out of her crotch, and that's it. I like the new butt design, since we actually have a butt on her. A little more definition in the boobs would have been great. And I really do wish I had a bald head to put on top of her with that way that hair is done around her ears. That was hilarious. I will probably find my way to getting another one of her at some point in the future, at least one more. I don't know if I'd go for the full 2 more. I might, just so I can do all the 3 of the display options with her. And of course, to get, the extra chameleons. I know people are selling the chameleons online, but they're selling for almost the same amount as the fucking 2-pack to start with. So you're better off getting the 2-pack and putting her up for sale yourself if you want. But I guess that's all I have to say on this figure, and why don't you guys let me know what you thought of her, and are you bothered by all the piercings as much as I am? But if you did enjoy this look at our Zanya and the Chameleon, I'm going to just call this Chameleon 2.0 at this point, please feel free to smash that like button. If you want to hear more of my nonsense in the future, you can subscribe, maybe even ding that notification bell. I thank you for watching. Peace and love. In case you were wondering, this is how Zartan looks when you put him on the swamp skier. And yeah, it doesn't really look much better. This actually may help me decide to not purchase any more of these in the future. It just doesn't seem like it works very well. But this is a little bit of bonus at the end. So if you did watch all the way to the end, you got to see how Zartan looks on here. So once again, I thank you for watching. Peace and love.